Alright folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a penny so lucky it paid off your mortgage? No? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into one little copper coin that could make you a millionaire. That's right, I'm talking about the 1987 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million for a penny. Now before you run off to flip your couch cushions or raid your change jar, stick around. I'm gonna break down what makes this specific penny so dang valuable, how to tell if you've got one, and why most people overlook it. Plus, I'll share a story about the time I almost spent a rare penny on a gas station hot dog. Yep. That happened. So grab your magnifying glass, maybe a snack, and let's go treasure hunting. First things first. The 1987 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, minted from 1959 to 2008. It features our boy Abe Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Sounds pretty average, right? Some 1987 pennies were struck without a mint mark. Most pennies from Philadelphia that year didn't have a mint mark, which isn't uncommon. But this specific no mint mark penny is special. Why? Because it wasn't supposed to exist in the way it does. It has a few juicy secrets baked into its coppery little face. You ever watch those antique shows where some old teapot ends up being worth six figures because of a scratch or a weird stamp? That's kinda what we're dealing with here. The $1 million 1987 penny has a combination of extremely rare errors and flawless condition. I'm talking full red luster, crisp details, and most importantly, minting mistakes that only a few in the world possess. Meaning the front of the coin has doubling on Abe's face, lettering, or date. It's like Abe had a few too many coffees that day and shook while posing. If the penny looks like the design missed the mark a little, that could mean big bucks. Sounds like something you'd find on a farm, but it actually refers to breaks in the metal dies that create odd raised areas or missing parts on the coin. Not meant for circulation, but somehow found their way into the world. Combine one or more of those errors with a pristine condition, and bingo, you might be looking at a seven-figure payday. Now let me tell you about the time I nearly threw away a small fortune. A few years back, I was driving cross-country, tired, hungry, low on gas, the whole road trip disaster package. I stopped at a gas station in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't have cash. Just a handful of coins from the glove box. There I was, standing in front of the hot dog warmer, trying to buy 2 mystery meat tubes and a soda. I handed over some coins, including a shiny 1987 penny I'd never seen before. The clerk looked at it funny and asked if I had another. I said sure, swapped it out, and moved on. 3 months later, I was organizing coins for fun. Yeah, I'm that guy, and I read an article about rare pennies. One of the first photos? A 1987 no mint mark with a double die error. I swear to you, my stomach dropped harder than my high school GPA. I still wonder if that gas station guy knew what he had. Alright, let's talk strategy. If you want to find this coin, and trust me, you do, here's how to start: get a magnifying glass. Preferably one that doesn't make you feel like Sherlock Holmes, but hey, if the hat fits, through your change. Check every 1987 penny you can find. Look for doubling in the text, especially, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. Look at the edges. Any odd textures, misalignments, or strange finishes? Take note. If you spot anything weird, don't toss it. Get it appraised. Contact a coin dealer or send it to a grading service. Even if it's not the $1 million version, some of these errors can still net you hundreds or thousands. Here's the thing most folks don't realize. Mistakes happen, even at the mint. Machines jam, dies crack, or human error sneaks in. And sometimes those goofs turn a 1-cent coin into a lottery ticket. These coins are still in circulation. Sitting in change jars. Hidden in couch cushions. Lost between car seats. So while other people are scrolling social media, you could be uncovering forgotten fortune in your spare change. Do you have $1 million penny sitting in your pocket right now? Maybe. You won't know unless you look. That 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your golden ticket, well, copper ticket, but you get the point. Here's what I want you to do. Tonight, instead of flipping on another episode of that cooking show you've already seen 5 times, go grab your coin jar. Check your 1987 pennies. Give them a good look. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting on a treasure and don't even know it, and if you find something weird, or just want more tips on spotting coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got more coin hunting strategies, stories, and hidden gem guides coming your way. Trust me, this is the kind of hobby that pays off, literally. Thanks for hanging out with me. Keep those eyes sharp, your change jar handy, and your curiosity wide open. You ever dig through your pocket change and think, this stuff's basically useless? Well, what if I told you that one little copper coin from 1963, the kind you probably toss in the tip jar without thinking twice, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah, let that sink in. 1 penny. $1 million. That's not a typo. That's the wild world of rare coins, and today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising stars of the show, the 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny. So before you dump out your coin jar at the grocery store coin machine or toss that old penny into the couch cushions, stick around. Because this coin might just change your life, and I mean that literally. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1963 Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, is part of the Lincoln Memorial design that was used from 1959 to 2008. It features Good Ol' Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing fancy, right? Just another boring penny. But here's where it gets spicy. Most of these pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which means, no mint mark. That's normal. If you've got a 1963 penny with no mint mark, that just means it came from Philly. Now, the vast majority of these are worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents if you're lucky and the copper value creeps up. But every once in a while, a special one slips through the cracks. Let me take you back to a story. I was helping my grandpa clean out his old fishing tackle box, the kind that's got more rust than utility. Tucked inside, mixed in with some old lures and what might have been a petrified worm, was a small Ziploc bag of coins. He says, "Take whatever's in there. It's just junk." And what do I find? You guessed it. A 1963 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and in near-perfect condition. Now, I didn't think much of it at the time, but I threw it in my coin album anyway. Fast forward a few months, I'm watching a coin auction online, yeah, I know, real wild Friday night, and someone drops over $1 million on a penny. I lean in closer. It's a 1963 no mint mark penny. I nearly flipped my recliner. I ran to the album, heart racing like I just drank 3 espressos. Spoiler alert, mine wasn't that penny. But boy, I was close. So, what makes one of these ordinary-looking coins worth over $1 million? First, condition. We're talking pristine, museum-quality condition, what the coin nerds call MS-67 red, or higher. That red doesn't mean it's literally red, it means the copper's original luster is still poppin'. No dark spots, no scratches, just shiny like it was minted this morning. Second, rarity. While millions were minted, very few survived in top condition. These were coins meant to be used. Tossed in pockets. Dropped in vending machines. Lost between couch cushions and in fishing tackle boxes. So finding one that looks brand new is like finding a needle in a haystack, if the haystack were full of pennies. Third, demand. Serious collectors will pay big money for key pieces to complete their sets. Especially when it's a high-grade coin from a common year, because that combo is weirdly rare. And weirdly rare means cha-ching. Now, let's talk numbers. As of today, the current market value of a gem-quality 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny sits at about $1.1 million. That's not eBay Dreamland pricing. That's verified auction house, real money, real buyers. I mean, who needs a winning lottery ticket when your pocket change might be your retirement plan? Condition is everything. If it's scratched, dull, or dirty, probably not the big winner. But if it's shiny, sharp, and still has that copper glow, you might be onto something. Get yourself a magnifier and learn to recognize a clean strike. The better the details on Lincoln's beard and the sharper the lettering, the higher the grade. If Abe looks like he just got a fresh haircut, you're doing good. Don't clean your coins. I know it's tempting to polish them up, but cleaning destroys the value. Collectors want original condition, not shiny forced shiny. If you think you've got a potential winner, get it graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. Yes, it'll cost a little money, but hey, if your coin could be worth $1 million, that's a pretty small investment. The lack of a mint mark on this coin doesn't make it rare by itself. Most 1963 pennies don't have one. So don't get too excited just yet unless yours is in mint state red and graded high. Just hunting for one of these is a thrill. Every time I crack open a roll of pennies or sort through a pile at a garage sale, I get that little jolt of hope. That maybe, just maybe, lightning will strike. Well, I already have my victory dance planned. So there you have it. That little copper coin you've been ignoring since the 60s might just be worth more than your house. The 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny in top condition can bring in up to $1.1 million, and there could be one sitting in your sock drawer right now. Now, don't go dumping all your coins on the kitchen table just yet. Okay, maybe do that, but do it smart. Learn what to look for. Take your time. And most of all, have fun. Because coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about the hunt. The stories. The memories, like that fishing tackle box surprise I'll never forget. And hey, if you want more tips like this, if you want to know what other coins could be hiding in your pocket worth thousands or even millions, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. We're talking coins, cash, and crazy finds every single week. Don't be the one who finds out too late that you gave away $1 million penny. Thanks for watching. Now go check your change. Hey there, coin hunters and curious folks alike. Let me hit you with this. Imagine you're standing in line at a gas station, grab a pack of gum, hand over a couple bucks, and the cashier gives you back a handful of change. You barely glance at it, shove it in your pocket, and forget about it. But what if, and hear me out here, one of those little brown pennies jingling in your pocket is actually worth $1.2 million? Yeah. You heard me right. One single 2006 Lincoln penny, not gold-plated, not fancy, not blessed by a wizard, but just a regular-looking penny could buy you a house, a couple sports cars, and still leave you with enough to throw a party so big your neighbors would talk about it for decades. So today, we're diving deep into this unassuming little coin, the 2006 Abraham Lincoln penny that could change your life. We're talking about what makes it so special, how to spot one, and of course, a little story from yours truly about almost losing a small fortune in a laundry machine. Buckle up, because this ride's gonna be fun, informative, and probably make you want to dump your whole piggy bank on the floor. Alright, let's break it down. The 2006 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. That's what the little d under the date stands for. Now, most of these pennies are totally normal. Billions were made, and they're worth exactly what you think, 1 cent. But not all of them came out of the mint perfectly. And that's where it gets juicy. Well, in rare cases, you get what collectors call a mint error. These are accidental mistakes made during the minting process, and some of them are so wild, so rare, and so precise in their wrongness that collectors go absolutely bonkers for them. We're talking off-center strikes, double dies, wrong planchets, and sometimes, a mix of all three. The $1 million 2006 penny has a very specific type of error, a dramatic double die with misaligned features that makes Lincoln's profile look like it's echoing. Think of it as Lincoln with a ghost twin behind him. On top of that, there are die cracks and a planchet anomaly that gives it a distinct texture and look under magnification. Only a couple of these pennies have ever been confirmed, and collectors are willing to shell out big bucks to get their hands on one. Now, here's where it gets really wild. These errors weren't caught right away. Some of these coins went into circulation like regular pennies. That means it's entirely possible someone out there has one in a jar, a drawer, or stuck under a car seat, not knowing it's worth more than their actual car. Let me tell you a quick story. About 5 years ago, I was helping my aunt clean out her garage. She had this giant plastic tub filled with random coins. I offered to take it off her hands, thinking I might find a silver quarter or two. Took that tub home and started sorting through it on my kitchen table like a pirate counting treasure. Hours passed. My neck hurt. My wife thought I'd finally lost it. And then I saw something weird. A 2006 penny with a strange shadow on Lincoln's face. I nearly dropped it. Grabbed my magnifier. I'm no grading expert, but even I could see something was off. Took it to a local coin shop the next day, heart pounding. Guy looks at it, goes pale, and tells me it's very similar to the famous $1 million variety. Now, mine wasn't the jackpot, worth a few grand, not $1 million, but you better believe I started checking every penny after that like I was Indiana Jones on a treasure hunt. First, grab your change jar or whatever coins you've got lying around. Look for the 2006 date with AD under it. Then, examine Lincoln's face closely. If the profile looks doubled, or if there are weird raised lines or a strange texture around the edges, you might be onto something. Next, get a magnifier. Seriously, even a $10 jeweler's loupe off the internet will do the trick. Take a good look at Lincoln's eye, nose, and the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. Those are the usual spots where doubling appears. If anything looks funky, don't toss it. Don't even breathe on it too hard. Place it in a soft cloth or flip holder and get it looked at by a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, if you find one that checks all the boxes, and it's in decent condition, I'm talking no giant scratches from a parking lot, then congrats. You might just be holding $1 million miracle in the palm of your hand, and don't let anyone tell you pennies aren't worth collecting. That's the biggest lie since I'm only gonna buy one thing at the store. Some of the most valuable coins in American history are cents. Small in value but massive in potential. So here's the deal. That handful of change sitting on your dresser might be hiding a $1.2 million Lincoln penny from 2006. And if you're not checking, you're basically walking past buried treasure every day. Crazy, right? If you've got a coin jar, a junk drawer, or just the next time someone hands you change at a store, take a second and look. That little copper coin could be your ticket to early retirement, or at least the nicest steak dinner you've ever had. And hey, if you like this video and want more tips on coins worth big money, how to spot valuable errors, or just enjoy hearing stories about folks like us turning pocket change into real change, hit that subscribe button. Give it a like, ring the bell, or whatever YouTube asks for these days. I've got a lot more coin secrets to share and some wild stories to go with them. Alright folks, picture this. You're standing in line at the gas station, you just paid for a soda, and the cashier hands you a handful of change. You glance down, see a copper-colored penny with a little d under the year 2007, and toss it into your pocket without a second thought. Big mistake. Huge. That little coin might just be worth $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard me right, not 13 cents, not 13 bucks, but 1.3 million cold hard American dollars. Now before you start flipping over every couch cushion or shaking down your piggy bank, let me walk you through why the 2007 Lincoln penny is causing so much noise in the coin collecting world. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what makes this coin so special, how to spot a valuable one, and maybe even what to say if you find one and your buddy offers you a quarter for it. Spoiler alert, don't take the quarter, and stick around, because I've got a personal story about a penny that got away. It still haunts me when I do laundry. Let's dive into the world of small coins with big price tags. First off, let's clear something up. Most 2007 Lincoln pennies are worth, well, a penny. Maybe two if you're really persuasive. But there's one particular variation, and we'll get into the details, that sold for $1.3 million. That's not just a fluke. That's what happens when rarity meets condition meets demand. The D stands for the Denver Mint. In 2007, the Denver Mint produced billions, with a B, of Lincoln cents. So what makes this one stand out? It's not just the mint mark. It's the die errors, the striking anomalies, and the flawless condition. Think of it like this: most pennies are like the average hamburger from a fast food joint. This one is like a handcrafted gourmet burger with gold leaf and truffle aioli. It's just built different. Now let's talk about that error. The $1 million 2007 D penny has a very specific type of double die error. And no, that's not something from an action movie. A double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once by a misaligned die, causing some of the lettering or details, like Lincoln's features, the date, or even the word Liberty, to appear doubled or distorted. Because they're rare, they're cool, and they usually slip past quality control. It's like finding a typo on a $100 bill. But instead of making it worthless, it makes it way more valuable. Another reason this coin is such a big deal is its condition. This particular 2007 D was graded MS 70 red. That means it's mint state, perfect, with that bright fresh off the press red shine. No fingerprints. No scratches. Not even a pocket lint stain. That's the coin world's equivalent of a unicorn. Great, how do I know if I've got the $1 million penny or just another button for the laundry machine? First, flip the coin under good lighting, check Lincoln's face and the word Liberty. Is anything doubled? Look really closely, inspect the date. Doubling there is a big giveaway. Does the coin look crisp and clean, like it's never been touched by human hands? If you're unsure, get yourself a cheap magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You don't need to be Indiana Jones to spot treasure, and if you think you've got something special, send it to a professional grading service. Yeah, it costs a few bucks, but if your penny ends up being worth 7 figures, it's the best investment you'll ever make. Let me tell you a story that still makes me twitch a little. A few years ago, I was helping my cousin clean out his old apartment before he moved. We found a coffee can full of change. Being the coin nut that I am, I offered to take it home and roll it up. As I'm going through it, I notice a really clean 2007 D penny. Looked like it was in pretty good shape, maybe worth $1 or $2. But I was tired, had pizza on my mind, and I tossed it into the common pile. Well, months later, I saw an article about the $1 million 2007 D penny. I started sweating. I ran back to that can, but guess what? Gone. Probably spent on vending machine candy. That coin could have bought me a cabin in the woods, a base boat, and a year's supply of beef jerky. Instead, I got Skittles. Always check your change. Don't sleep on the little guys. Alright, let's talk market value. This rare 2007 D Lincoln penny has sold at auction for $1.3 million. That's no joke. Why so much? The error is rare. Only a handful exist. It's in pristine condition. There's high demand from wealthy collectors who want to fill every gap in their collection. It's a modern coin, so it's relatable and current. Prices for error coins like this tend to climb over time. Think of it like real estate in a hot neighborhood. If you've got the right property, people will line up to buy it. Same goes for coins. More people are getting into coin collecting these days. It's no longer just old guys in basements. It's TikTokers, YouTubers, even hipsters in coffee shops. Everybody wants that next big score. If you're just getting started, don't feel overwhelmed. Here are a few quick tips. Grab a coin folder and start organizing your change. Learn to spot mint marks and dates. Get to know your D's, P's, and S's. Invest in a basic magnifying tool. Join online coin forums and communities. You'll learn a ton, and always check the couch cushions, parking meters, and yes, the laundry machine. You don't need to spend thousands to get started. You just need curiosity and maybe a little luck. That ordinary-looking 2007 D Lincoln penny in your pocket could be your ticket to millionaire status. It all depends on a little doubling, a little shine, and a lot of attention to detail. Remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's treasure hunting in the real world. It's like scratching a lottery ticket without spending a dime. All you need is some spare change and a sharp eye. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about coins that could change your life, I'm talking nickels worth thousands, quarters that can buy a house, and dimes that beat your salary, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring that little bell so you don't miss out on any coin collecting secrets. Got a weird looking penny? Drop a comment below. Who knows, maybe you're sitting on the next $1 million discovery. Hey folks, let me ask you a quick question. What if I told you that a single penny, yep, one red cent from 2002 with a tiny little D on it, could buy you a dream house, 2 sports cars, and still leave you with enough cash for a lifetime supply of barbecue ribs? Sounds like a tall tale, right? But buckle up, because today we're diving into the mind-blowing world of the 2002 D Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions and raiding your piggy bank, let's walk through the wild story of how a coin most people overlook every day became a hidden treasure. And trust me, you don't want to miss the story of the time I almost spent a valuable coin on a gas station burrito. I've been checking every penny ever since. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2002 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D under the date. Most of these coins are still worth, well, a penny. But once in a while, magic, or more accurately, minting mistakes, can skyrocket a coin's value into the stratosphere. Well, one particular 2002 D penny was struck on a 95% copper planchet instead of the usual copper-plated zinc used in modern pennies. That's right. Even though the US Mint stopped using mostly copper in pennies way back in 1982, somehow one of those old-school copper planchets snuck into the Denver Mint in 2002. A little rebel slipped through the cracks and came out shining, literally. Now, to the average person, it looks just like any other penny. But to a coin collector or numismatist, that's the fancy word for coin nerd, it's a once-in-a-lifetime find. Experts verified the composition, confirmed the error, and the price tag hit $1.4 million faster than you can say, "Honest Abe, this wasn't some special commemorative release." It was a regular penny that somehow broke the rules. Think of it like the class clown who ends up being the most successful person at the high school reunion. Now, you might be thinking, why would someone pay that much for a penny? Great question. The answer boils down to rarity, condition, and demand. This copper 2002 D is unique. Literally. As far as we know, there's only one. That kind of rarity sends collectors into a frenzy. Add in the fact that it's in pristine condition, and you've got yourself a coin with a price tag big enough to make your jaw hit the floor. Alright, let's take a quick detour and talk about the time I learned my own coin collecting lesson the hard way. So picture this. It's 2009. I'm at this rundown gas station in the middle of nowhere. I'm starving, running on fumes, both my stomach and my car. I grab the only thing edible looking, a microwave burrito that looked like it had seen better days. I reach into my pocket, pull out a handful of change, and hand it to the cashier without a second thought. A few weeks later, I'm flipping through a coin magazine, and there it is, an article about rare state quarters. I look closer, and I'm almost positive I had that exact one in my change that day. I kid you not, I had a full-blown flashback right there. I still have nightmares about that burrito. Lesson learned. Never underestimate your spare change. Back to our 2002 D penny. If you're wondering how to know if you've got the golden ticket hiding in your pocket, here's what to look for. First, flip the coin and look for the D mint mark under the year 2002. Then, check the weight. A regular penny from that year weighs about 2.5 grams. But the rare copper version? It weighs around 3.1 grams. That little difference is huge. If your penny tips the scale at 3.1 grams, you just might be sitting on a fortune. Next, look at the color. The copper planchet gives off a slightly richer, redder tone compared to the usual duller zinc version. Still not sure? Take it to a coin shop or a professional grading service. Do not spend it. I repeat, do not buy gum with it, and hey, if you're digging through your jar of pennies right now, you're not alone. There's an entire community of folks like us who get way too excited about pocket change. And for good reason. One lucky find can change your entire life. You know what else to keep an eye out for? Errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks. There's a whole world of mistakes that actually make coins more valuable. It's like finding beauty in imperfection. Kind of poetic, right? Plus, coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill of the hunt. It's a hobby, a history lesson, and a scavenger hunt all rolled into one. And let's be honest, it beats doom scrolling on your phone at 2 a.m. First, always check your pennies. That little 2002 D might just be your ticket to financial freedom. Second, the smallest details, like weight, color, and metal composition, can make the biggest difference. Third, never underestimate a coin, and definitely never use a rare one to buy questionable burritos, but most importantly, don't sleep on your spare change. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. That if you enjoyed this wild ride through coin history and you want more tips on coins that could be worth thousands or even millions, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button if you've ever accidentally spent something valuable. And drop a comment below if you've got a lucky find or a coin hunting story of your own. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on your coins and your burritos cheap. Hey folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where you're digging around in the couch cushions for spare change, hoping to scrape together enough for a coffee, and then bam, you find a penny? And you think, well, this isn't gonna help much. But what if I told you that penny, yes, that little copper coin you were about to flick across the room, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? I'm not kidding. We're talking about the 1978 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. That's right. $1.5 million. For a penny. You could trade a rusty little coin for a mansion with a pool and still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of pizza and Netflix. So stick around, because I'm going to break down what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why coin collectors are going absolutely bananas over it. And I'll even tell you a little story about the time I accidentally spent a coin worth thousands on a vending machine snack. True story. Don't be me. Alright, let's get into the juicy stuff. First off, 1978 was a pretty average year for pennies. Nothing too wild at first glance. These coins were made out of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and back then, copper was cheap. Nobody expected these to be worth anything more than, well, a cent. Some of the pennies minted in Philadelphia came out with unique features. And when I say unique, I don't mean a little scratch or some gum stuck to it. I'm talking about legitimate mint errors, die varieties, and even a few that came out with perfect conditions and full red luster. That's rare. Good question. See, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark at all, which is normal. But what sets this particular 1978 no-mint mark penny apart is a mix of things: die errors, pristine condition, and high grading. We're talking MS 67 red and higher. That's Mint State 67, baby. It's like the luxury suite of coin grades. Imagine a coin that looks like it time-traveled straight from the mint to your hands without a single nick or fingerprint. Collectors love that. They drool over that. One specific 1978 penny with all the right stuff sold for over $1.5 million at auction. Yeah. Somebody's penny became somebody else's dream come true. Now don't go running to the piggy bank just yet. Let's talk about how you can tell if you've got one of these treasures hiding in plain sight. Condition is everything. If your 1978 penny looks like it's been through a lawnmower, it's probably not the $1 million variety. You're looking for a shiny, reddish copper tone and sharp details. Number 2, no mint mark. If it has a D or an S under the date, that means it came from Denver or San Francisco, and that's not what we're hunting for today. Check for die varieties or doubling. This is where things get technical, but don't worry, I'll keep it simple. If Lincoln's profile looks slightly doubled, or the letters and numbers seem off or thickened, you might have a double die variety, and that can jack the value way up. If you've got one in really nice shape, it might be worth getting it professionally graded by a place like PCGS or NGC. Yeah, they charge a little fee, but would you mind paying $100 to find out if your penny is worth $1.5 million? Didn't think so. Now for that vending machine story I promised you. So a few years ago, I was visiting my uncle, who was this old school coin hoarder. I mean, this guy had jars of coins stacked like towers in his garage. He gave me a bunch of change, just in case I got hungry, while I was running errands. Fast forward to me, starving, standing in front of a vending machine with a Snickers calling my name. I dig into my pocket and start popping in coins without even looking. Later that day, I was chatting with a coin buddy, and we're talking about errors and rare dates. He mentions the 1978 penny with no mint mark and a unique die strike. I pause. My stomach sinks. I realized one of those coins I shoved into the machine looked exactly like the one he was describing. I may have traded $1 million penny for a candy bar. I try not to think about it too much, but let's just say that was the most expensive Snickers I've ever eaten. So there you have it, folks. The humble 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be hiding in your change jar, your junk drawer, or under your car seat, just waiting to change your life. If it's in great shape, has no mint mark, and shows signs of mint errors or doubling, you might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Coin collecting isn't just for old folks in basements with magnifying glasses anymore. Nope, it's for everyday people like you and me. People who enjoy a good story, love the thrill of the hunt, and wouldn't mind turning pocket change into $1 million. Go check your pennies. Seriously. Right now. And if you find something interesting, leave a comment and tell me about it. You might just have the next $1 million coin, and I'd love to hear about it before you spend it on candy. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who thinks pennies aren't worth the trouble. Let's prove I'm wrong. I've got more videos coming your way on coins that could make you rich, coin collecting strategies, and how to spot valuable finds before the vending machine eats them. Thanks for watching, and remember, one man's penny is another man's payday.